All right. Today, we'll be graphing quadratic functions, except this time it's in standard form. Now, what the heck is in standard form? So standard form, an example of quadratic equation in standard form would be it's y equals a squared, ax squared plus bx plus c. So the value of a is always going to be between the equal sign and the x squared. There's your a. Your b always comes between the x squared and the x. And c is a constant. It always comes after the x. So here's some examples. So here we have your x squared term. The a is right here. It's invisible 1. The value of b is between the x squared and the x. There's your b, and there's your c. Here's another equation in standard form. A is right there, b is right there, and c is right there. Here's another form in standard. Okay, there's another equation in standard form. So when you do this, for graphing these types of equations, it's the same process as this, except to find the coordinates of the vertex in vertex form, that was pretty straightforward. When it's in standard form, not as easy. So standard form, first you find the values of a, b, and c. So in this case, the value of a is right here. It's between the equal sign and the x squared. Right there, it's an invisible positive 1. So a is a positive 1. B is between the x squared and the x, so it's a positive 6. That's where I get that from. And the c comes after the x. So my c is a positive 9. There's my c. Okay, so to find the vertex, we're going to use negative b divided by 2a. That's how you find the value of x for the vertex. Okay, so vertex, I'm going to take negative b, so a negative, and my b is a 6, divided by 2 times a. My value of a is a positive 1, so I take this, when I simplify this stuff, a negative 6 over 2 is a negative 3. So my vertex, I know my vertex, the x value is a negative 3. How do I find my y value? Well, you take this answer and you plug it back in the equation. So every time I see an x, I'm going to replace it with a negative 3. So x squared plus 6x plus 9, x squared. So here's my x. I put a negative 3 there. In this case, my 6 times x, my x is a negative 3. I have to simplify this. So negative 3 squared is a positive 9. That's a minus 18. That's a positive 9. This is not 18, and that is 0. So when x is negative 3, y has a value of 0. There's my vertex right there. Here's my graph. I had to make it. 1, 2, 3, 0. There's my vertex. Okay. Does the graph open up or down? You have to find the value of a. It's the same thing as before. You look at your value of a. It's a positive. That tells me it's going to open upwards. Okay. So I know my graph, when I graph it, it's going to open upwards. It's not opening downwards. It has to open upwards because a is a positive. Okay. So it opens upwards. Axis of symmetry goes right through the vertex. So there's my axis of symmetry. Graph the parabola. Hey, this still works as well. Is a 1 or is it a negative 1? Yes, it is. Right there. I know I could use the faster way of doing it. Remember the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, blah, 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 blah. The same thing. So it opens upwards. 1 to the right, 1 up. I'm going to 1 to the right, 3 up, 1 right. From this point, 1 to the right, 3 up. 1, 2, 3. Come on, there we go. Then 1 to the right, 5 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one, this is 10, so it's off the chart already. And the same thing the other direction. 1 to the left, 1 up. 1 to the left, 3 up. 1 to 2. 1 to the left, 5 up. There's my graph. a smooth curve out of this. A smooth curve. And okay, it's like that. The vertex is 3, 0. Oh, I can't believe I did that. It's -3. Huge error. -3, 0. Bad teacher. 1, 2, 3. It's right there. Axis of symmetry. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. 1, 3, 3, 1, 5. Right there. So there we go. The vertex is -3, 0. And the axis of symmetry x equals -3. There's my graph. I have to erase this more. Okay. Oh, that was horrible. Mistake in the first one. Let me do some more. Okay. 3 more for this one. Okay. So, what are we going to do? Find the coordinates of the vertex. Find the coordinates of the vertex. Vertex, again, is -b over 2a. So my value of a is, 1, the value of b is -6, and the value of c is +8. So -b over 2 times a. b is a -6, a is a 1. So negative, that makes it a +6. 2, 1, that's a 2. That makes it a +3. So I know it's going to be a +3. When I take 3, plug it back in here. 3 squared, it's a -6 times 3 plus 8. That's a 9. That's 18 plus 8. So it's 1. 3, 1. So 9 is 17. Oh, it's a -1. -18 plus 17. It's a -1. There you go. So there's my vertex. 3, -1. So y equals x squared minus 6x plus 8. It's going to be 3, 1, 2, 3 minus 1. Okay. Next. Does the graph open up or down? A is positive, so it opens up. Okay, and it's a axis of symmetry. I know it opens upwards. There's nothing. There it opens upwards. Axis of symmetry. A is a 1, so I can use my thing here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So from here, go 1 right, up 1. 1 right, up 3. 1, 2, 3. Up 1, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, off the chart. So the next one, go left 1, up 1. Left 1, up 3. 1, 2, 3. Left 1, up 5. Okay, make this chart when I make the graph. One nice thing about this, the y-intercept will always be the value of c. What's the value of c? It's a +8. So right here on my y-intercept, this graph is going to cross the y-intercept right there at +8. Right. Ooh, and I already got a dot there. It's another way to make this easier. Oh, 3, -1. And axis of symmetry x equals 3. So I'm really highlighting this so you can see it on the video, because in my mind that's dark enough. When I look at my screen, it tells me I have to make this darker. So when I take a photo of this and transfer it to Google Classroom, I have to make sure this is dark enough so my boss can read that. The boss happens to be your teacher. So that's why I'm making that darker, so you can get an idea that I'm doing the same thing that you have to do. Okay, next one, y equals negative 2x minus 8x minus 3. Okay, the vertex is going to be negative b over 2a. So a is negative 2, b is a negative 8, c is negative 3. Okay, negative b, there's my b, 2 times divided a. b is a negative 8, a is a negative 2, negative times a negative 8 is a positive 8, positive 2 times a negative 2 is a negative 4, and that becomes a negative 2. So negative 2 comma something. Okay, when x is negative 2, so minus 8 times my x minus 3, so negative 2, negative 2. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Positive 4 times negative 2 is a negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 2 is a positive 16 minus 3. Negative 8, that's a minus 11 plus 5. 2 comma 5. Negative 2 comma 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, next, we found the coordinates of the vertex. Put a dot there. Does the graph open up or down? A is negative, so it opens downwards. Okay, axis of symmetry. Okay, graph of parabola. Is a 1 or is it a negative 1? A is, oh man, so we have to do the vertex is negative 2 comma 5. The 3 integers above negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1. The 3 integers below negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5. So when v is negative 2, y is a 5. When v is a negative 1, put a negative 1 right there. Negative 1 squared is a 1. 1 times negative 2 is a negative 2. Negative 8 times a negative 1 is a negative 8. Minus 3, so negative 2 minus negative 10. Sorry, that would be positive 8. 8 minus 5, 3. That would be a 3. Next one, when x is 0, 0, 0 will be minus 3. Next one is a 1. Positive 1 squared 1, that would be negative 2, that would be negative 8. Negative 8, negative 10, negative 13. So, is this number exactly halfway between these two? Yes. So I know those two answers would be the same. I know these two answers are going to be the same because of axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry tells me they're the same. Okay, now I can plot those points on my graph. Plot these points. So negative 2 comma 5, negative 1 comma 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 0 comma 1, 2, 3 right there. Negative 13, it's off the chart. Negative 3, 3. And off. So make it a U-shaped. So the vertex is, let me draw it so it's darker. Negative 2 comma 5. And the axis of symmetry, x equals negative 2. There's my graph. Boom, from there to there, boom. And my last one here. So, oh, and also, here's just another way to double check. Right here, there's my y-intercept. It's going to be -3. Look at this. My y-intercept should be at -3. It is, it's right there. Nice. It's another way to check your work. Okay, so just by looking at this, I know it's standard form. Okay, A is positive, so I know it opens up. Okay, it also has to pass through +2 when I draw it, so it's going to have to pass through that point right there. +2. That tells me it's going to have to pass. The y-intercept is at +2. Okay. A is 3, B is +6. Excuse me, C is +2. -b over 2a, -b over 2 times b is a 6, a is a 3, -6 over 6 is -1, so -1 comma something. Okay, so 3 times x squared plus 6 times x plus 2, -1. So -1 squared is a +1, times 3 is a +3. 6 times -1 is a -6. So -6 plus 5 is a -1. There's my vertex. Vertex is -1, -1. Okay. And then my axis of symmetry. Okay. I know because A is positive, this graph is opening upwards because A is positive. Okay. So A is not a 1, so I have to do it. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay. Here. Well, x, y. So the vertex is -1, comma -1. The 3 integers just above, 0, 1, and 2. The 3 integers just below, -2, -3, -4. So when x is 0, it's a 2. When x is a +1, 1 is 1, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. When x is 2, 2 squared is 4, 12, 24, 26. Okay, here's my vertex. So I'm looking at those two numbers. Is this number halfway between those? Yes. So axis of symmetry, axis of symmetry, axis of symmetry. 26 is off the chart, so is 11. So when I graph this, h of x equals 3x squared plus 6x plus 2. The vertex is -1, 1, 0, 2, 1, 11, 1, it's right up there. On the other side, 1 right there, and 11 right there. So there are my points. So really steep graph. The vertex is -1, comma -1. Now, can you see that very well? Probably not, so I'm going to make that darker because my teacher wants it darker. There we go. Axis of symmetry, x equals -1. There we go. Done! Beautiful. Bye, guys.